Hey everyone, Tim the Collect Jurassic. We're back with another Mattel Jurassic World Dominion toy unboxing. We're back at it with Wave 2 figures. There's tons of stuff coming out right now, so the channel's heating up again with lots of new toys to unbox, like these two Human Dinosaur packs. We have Dr. Alan Grant and Dimetrodon, as well as Kayla Watts and Pyroraptor. Really excited about these figures. Always loved getting new human figures, but the dinosaurs, the Dimetrodon in particular, looks incredible. But Pyroraptor is going to be pretty neat too, right? This is one of the second Pyroraptor figures we've gotten, so I definitely want to be sure to do comparisons in this video between those figures. We'll even do comparisons of Grant and Dimetrodon too. Why not? We can do that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and get started with Kayla, actually, and her Pyroraptor. Kayla's new character for Jurassic World Dominion. I'm sure unless you've been living under a rock, you've seen the trailers and seen that she's gonna have a pretty big part in the film, some kind of pilot which explains her whole get up and all that. And then Pyroraptor, of course, is one of the new species from the movie as well. So the packaging here is pretty much like all the other Dominion packaging, all that amber texture that we gotten used to. Very nice packaging. I think the amber color this year has just been great. I love the pop it gives to all the packaging. So obviously that's present here along with the T-Rex, and then on the back kind of showing you what's included, as well as the other figure in the wave, which is Alan Grant here, and how the scan codes work. So that stuff's all pretty expected, right? Let's go ahead and get this figure out and actually talk about the toys inside. So we'll get Pyroraptor and Kayla out here at the same time. Bear with me. There's Pyroraptor. Kayla's gonna be a little bit harder to get out because they used this blister pack on her, but she's coming right out all the same. And there we go. What's crazy about this Kayla figure is it was barely a month ago that I was at Generation Jurassic seeing this figure for the first time, and now I have it in my hand. So always kind of funny how that stuff works. Like, you think that, like, oh, this figure's brand new and no one's seen it, and it's going to be a long time before anyone gets to see it again. But here it is in hand. So the toy came out. Here's Kayla and the Pyroraptor. Kayla, of course, I talked about, has this sort of like pilot jacket that looks really nice on her. She's got kind of like a textured shirt with like pockets on it and all that. And then, of course, the jacket itself fits on really, really nicely. She's got the ombre in her hair too, just like in the movie. So it's not just one color. It goes to lighter brown curls. Her face has lots of detail as well. You can see that she's got she has like sort of like a lip gloss on, eyeliner, all that stuff. Really, really good detail considering the scale here for 3 3/4. I don't know if the video is doing it justice, but with my own eyes, I can see that it's a really nicely detailed face, considering it's really, really tiny. She also has, I think, fingerless gloves on. You can see on both hands she's got fingerless gloves. She's got pants, she's got some like heavy duty boots, and then she comes with this little stun baton too, which we've seen in a couple of the other figure packs as well. She's got all the articulation you'd want in a figure like this. She's got the head that moves. She has the arms at the bend at the shoulder and the elbow, so you can get a little bit of articulation. No wrist articulation in these basic figures, but I think she's got some waist articulation, hip, and knee. So you can do a lot with, I won't even call it basic. It's actually pretty decent articulation. You can do a lot of articulation with this. It's not as much as the Hammond collection figures from Mattel, but you are going to get some decent articulation with this. So we'll go ahead and get her in her little baton pose like she has with Owen. So there is our next human hero, if you will. So she's joining, we got Owen already, and we also have Claire. So those are our good guys, right? From the movie. We also have Sonia Santos, as well as Ryan Delacour. So we already have a pretty impressive lineup of human figures from Mattel. The movie hasn't even come out yet, and they've already come out with this many human figures, not counting Grant behind us that we'll get to open later. So pretty cool. Kayla's joining a pretty strong cast of humans already, which is awesome. Then we got Pyroraptor here. Obviously, she's coming with Pyroraptor because we know from the trailer that's sort of like a big scene. So this is a Pyroraptor figure that doesn't have any extreme damage or anything. It's literally just the figure. It's got, I've done a review on that figure itself, but this one has different paint altogether. So I'll go ahead and cover this thing all together again. It's got the nice darker colored features, right, that go around the whole underbody. But then it has this red plumage. Really nice detail on the tail with all the feathers. I love that. The arms also have detailed feathers. Now the arms aren't quite, or the feathers on the arms aren't quite as big as the actual movie design. I think that must be some sort of concepting issue where they, make the toy before the movie's finalized or something like that. But in any case, that's probably the only glaring issue with this, is that it could have like really big feathers on its wings that I think would help. But otherwise, I think the face actually looks pretty much like the movie design we've seen, the animatronic and all that. Of course, it's got articulation in the head that we love, that neck articulation that's like sort of like a pseudo ball joint that lets it like look behind it and all that stuff. I love like the burst of color on the head feathers too. That's a little different. A little different than the other one even. But that's a Atrociraptor that came with this human pack. We also have the extreme damage Atrociraptor that I wanted to do a little comparison on. This one is a little bit different because its arms articulate, like they have an extra hinge for whatever reason. And it's also a different color. I mean, I'm sure you can put that, see that pretty clear as day. That one is kind of bright red and one is dark red. One has like a little bit more of an airbrush effect on all the paint lines. And also has dark color where the extreme damage is. And then this one has like pretty much harsh lines, not as like, gradiated out. This one has like just paint in different places. I mean, you can see that the back where the tail meets doesn't even have paint on the tail, whereas this one has paint on the tail. So their heads are obviously the same head, but they have different colored plumage on top. Wow, they're not even the same head. Interesting. I don't know if you can see this on film, but the feathers on the new one are actually longer. I swear it's not just how I'm holding the camera. They're literally like a different sculpture. Let me see if I can show this on film. How different. I don't know. It's real hard to see on film, but you're gonna have to take my word for it. The sculpt on the plumage is much longer on the 2-pack version. There, that's probably the best way I can illustrate it right there. I swear I'm holding these even. They're just a little bit different. So interesting, little tiny variations between these two guys on top of the paint, right? Obviously, the paint is really obvious, but I'm okay with the variation. It gives that much more, believability to them being a pack of Atrociraptors, right? I'm not sure if there's more than one in the movie or what, but at least this way we do get two different ones. So that's Atrociraptor. Love having a little pack. That's pretty cool. Atrociraptor and Kayla Watts, the pilot. I'll go ahead and get these other guys out. Really, really nice. I can finally do the scene from the trailer with Owen and Kayla both facing off against the Pyroraptor. So cool figure. Next up is Dr. Alan Grant and Dimetrodon. Alan Grant, I'm a little biased. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. Always have loved him since I saw Jurassic Park back in 1993. So, I'm thrilled he's coming back for Dominion. And I'm even more thrilled because we get some cool toys of him. The Jurassic Park 3 Alan Grant toys left a little bit to be desired. So hopefully these are a little better. So we got Dr. Alan Grant and Dimetrodon. I do believe there's probably some sort of key scene between them, which is why he's coming with the figure. But we'll just have to wait and see. That's Dimetrodon. Go ahead and break Grant out, as well as this giant skull he comes with, which is interesting. Hold on. Got him. Got the little skull thingy. Come on, Grant. You got this. And there he is. So So there's Alan Grant and the Dimetrodon. We'll go ahead and talk about Grant first because I told you I'm a huge Grant fan. So let's talk about him. So this is old Grant, not to be confused with young, Jurassic Park Grant. Right out the gate, you can see he's got a beard and gray hair. So the likeness is, it probably doesn't look. I'm going to go ahead and say that it doesn't look anything like Sam Neill. It looks like just an old man. But when you see them in the whole outfit, and you obviously know what he looks like in the movie, it does work. It's just looking at it, just his face, it's not quite as obvious. Like, oh yeah, that's Sam Neill. I wouldn't go that far. But altogether, the whole package, he definitely represents the character pretty well. He's also got a nice little jacket. I love the way Mattel's done the jackets this year. They fit really well. Obviously, if you take it off, he's going to have brown sleeves. But if you leave it on, it looks like, it's appropriately molded around him like a jacket should be. He's got a lot of nice detail. He's got a blue shirt. He's even got a little brown belt with a silver belt buckle. I mean, come on. He's got gray pants, brown shoes, all painted separately. And then his arms, he's also, obviously has sleeves that go up to his hands. Articulation-wise, he's going to be just like Kayla. He's got the head articulation. Got to have that painted hat. The shoulders, elbows, waist, knee, and then the waist this way too. So lots of articulation there, allowing him to hold this raptor head skull, I guess. I don't know what this is about. It's got a little bit of articulation itself. It really reminds me of, one of the Mattel toys that not a lot of people know about were these slime sets that came out with Fallen Kingdom. I actually have one right here. You filled this thing with slime, and then you twisted it, and it makes this big hole right here, and then slime pours out. But anyway, inside these was this little skeleton that you dipped in to the slime just to kind of give it a laboratory feel. And this little skeleton, I don't even think it's literally glued on here. I can't even take it off. But they're very similar. I mean, don't you think this is kind of like I wouldn't say they're the same mold. I don't know. No, they're not the same, but they're incredibly similar. Definitely the same sort of build and all that stuff. This one's obviously different colored plastic and a little bit thicker and not quite as hollow, but it did remind me of that, so I wanted to grab one of those. But no, he gets this giant raptor skull, I guess, to carry around. Maybe in the movie he picks these up when he's fighting the Dimetrodon. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough when the movie comes out, but he can. I assume, yeah, he can hold it. So maybe it's just because he's a paleontologist. He comes with a giant skeleton. I don't know. But in any case, that's his accessory. A much larger accessory than Kayla, I might add. So way to go, Grant, on getting that giant dinosaur bone into your set. Yeah, this is a really cool figure. Really happy with this one. Likeness aside, it's nice looking. So that's Grant. Hello, Dr. Grant. We also have the Dimetrodon with this set, which, the new Dominion Mattel Dimetrodon is a sight to behold. We've already looked at the extreme damage version, but this one doesn't have those garish wounds on the side, for one thing. And for another thing, I just think the paint here is a little bit more natural looking, and I just really, really love it. Articulation-wise, it's going to have the arms and legs that move. As you can see, it does that. They just rotate in and out and back and forth. They don't rotate outward from the body. They just go back and forth. But it does have that neck articulation that lets it go up and down and rotate side to side. Those ball joints I'm always talking about. And then it also has the little jaw so it can roar. Nice painted mouth with teeth. Gotta appreciate that. The eyes look great on this one, and then a nice bright orange sail. So a lot of cool stuff. Also has that scan code hidden. Oh, I didn't get the scan code out for Pyroraptor. I'll have to come back for that. But yeah, I love how they hid the scan code in this figure. Just ties right in there. Pretty cool. Real quick, we'll go ahead and look at the Pyroraptor scan code because I missed that. It's also in the hip. We'll see if I can get it out without any nails. Yeah, bing, there it is. So it also hides right there in the hip. Scan code pops out just like that. Cool. So that is the scan code for Dimetrodon. hidden very nicely. So comparisons wise, we have the extreme damage Dimetrodon. They're literally the same exact figure, except this one does have has a little bit more articulation. The arms actually have a little bit of rotation. They added that into both sets of legs. They do that on these extreme damage figures. They add like ever so slightly more articulation, and I don't know why, but he can kind of like do this with his arms as well as moving him back and forth, whereas the basic version can't do that. He also has that extreme damage, so you can see how much space the wounds take up on him versus this guy. This guy does not have as ridiculous as wounds. So but I just like this one. This one's so bright. Again, it's borderline garish, whereas this one's a little more natural and also doesn't have those wounds. I love the detail on this thing. Even more obvious when you don't have to look at those giant slash marks. I mean, look at the little scales on the sides of the body. Look at that. It goes all the way down to the tail. And then you have like ridges and lines and scars in the actual sail that looks so nice. I mean, look at that. So cool. I really like this one. This is probably my favorite figure we're unboxing tonight, is this Dimetrodon. Of course, way, way better than that ugly old Dino Rivals Dimetrodon. Yes, this is literally from the same toy company. You can see they have similarities, but my goodness, that head. Only a mother could love that head. I can't even believe how drastic of an improvement this is compared to the Dino Rivals one. We'll even open the mouths the same. It just looks so cool. Obviously, it's based on the movie, so that probably helps a little bit with the likeness, I would imagine. But I'm just really happy with this Dimetrodon. It is just really, really cool, and it even beats the previous extreme damage one. But like the Pyroraptor, you are going to have a couple different herd members, I guess, which is fun. So I got 2 Dimetrodons now to party with. So that is Grant and his Dimetrodon. I mean, also, of course, did Kayla and her Pyroraptor. Again, we got all these human figures now. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I got to do this with Grant. I got to compare him with Legacy Collection. And just because we got the young Sam Neill, we got old Sam Neill. Clear to see that this new figure is way more detailed, has a lot more going on. But likeness-wise, I do think that the Legacy Collection figure wins for a Sam Neill likeness versus Santa Claus here. But, you know, they're toys, so sometimes when you get down to these details, they're hard to get right. But hopefully we'll get another. I think what do we mean hopefully? I know for a fact we're getting the Hammond Collection, Alan Grant, and he'll obviously have the young Sam Neill likeness. Hopefully they get it down pat a little bit better than jolly old Saint Nick here. So jolly old Saint Alan, I should say. Wanted to do that quick comparison. But speaking of humans, let's go ahead and get the whole gang back in here. Just again, Mattel obviously has a lot of human characters they can still make for Dominion, but they've done a great job so far getting a lot of the cast members out. Of course, we still need that Ellie Sattler figure, which is coming at some point. Sheesh, keep knocking these guys down. The Ellie Sattler figure is coming at some point. I don't know if it's coming with a 2-pack per se, or what. And then who else could we use? We could use Zia. We could use what's his name? How am I blanking? Because it's the Franklin figure. So there's a few more human figures we could get, and there's probably even more that I don't know about. Of course, Ian Malcolm is also coming, and Maisie. So imagine adding Malcolm and Maisie and Ellie Sattler and another Owen. I think there's a Cowboy Owen coming out. So a lot of human figures coming out to add to all these dinosaurs too, which is exciting. So Mattel is just killing it with this toy line. So much stuff for us collectors to collect, which is exciting. So, and the Kayla figure and Grant figure are great. Kayla especially. So really nice work. But I think that is all I got for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the movie. It's coming out in just a couple days, and I cannot wait. It's obviously going to give a whole new layer of context to these toys. We'll know if there's packs of Dimetrodons and all that stuff soon enough, which is just so exciting. And then of course the toys will just keep coming out. Obviously, this is sort of the June push, but I know there's another push later in the fall with more and more toys. Of course, we need to see where that Ellie Sattler figure is going to fit into all this. So there's just so much to be excited about and so much to collect as a Jurassic collector. And I just got to say, I'm so excited. But I think that's all I got. Again, I'm Tim with Collect Jurassic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.